Hello and welcome to another Tuesday night. This is the Station Hotel Talking Parra live show. Thanks to our sponsors, first of all, Beach Jerky, Eurowork, Baby Star, Spot on Hose and Fittings, JD's Buyer's Agent, X-Visory, Parra Leagues, Archibald Racing, Time for a Chat, Crown Property Finance, Riverside, Brewing Co., Non-Stop Landscape, CMS Trophies, and of course, the Station Hotel. A very interesting time for Parramatta Eels fans. I'll bring everyone in straight away. We'll get talking. We'll get into it, and then we'll... Hello, Jez. You shouldn't be there. Hi, Jez.
Hello, Jez.
Hi, Jez.
Hello, Isaiah.
Welcome, everybody. We're not going to jump straight into the live thing. I know the fans want to talk about. We've got to wait for Joel to get here to talk about it as well. So let's just wait and see. So, look, let's jump into the game. First of all, there was a game on Saturday night. I know me and Hayden were there. Troy decided not to go. Doing more painting, I think, Troy, was it?
Yeah, a little bit of that. Obviously, I'm not a true fan by not going to every single game, apparently. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. No game day breakfast either, so maybe that was the reason why as well.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Hayden, mate, you're at the game. How are you doing, first of all?
Yeah, doing well. I was at the game. Do I wish I was there? I don't know. Yeah, Troy, unlike you, I'm a true fan. I missed the game against the Sea Eagles, but got there for this one. So, true fans go to games, eh?
Longy, mate, welcome back. You've had a couple of weeks off. What's doing in Longy world?
Mate, I wasn't at the game either. Probably not a true fan. I was out for my birthday, actually, so I was absolutely plastered and don't remember a lot of the game, but I do remember giving up, and I feel like that's a pretty fair reflection of that one.
Yeah, that's a fair and valid point. Look, let's get into the game first. Well, as I said, so 28-12 loss. I want to start by saying the defense in the first half was fantastic. The boys have done a great job in the last, I guess, few weeks, besides that South Sydney game, on really amping up their defence. Attack-wise, I just looked like we didn't have much to offer the whole game. It was kind of till Joash probably he come on and had a line break, I think, towards the back end of that first half. Besides that, we just didn't seem like we're ever going to break long. We've heard that saying before, X-factor player. For me, the disappointing thing was our set plays just looked to be so predictable and so boring that they're not having any effect, and that's when we do run them. So we struggled to get our own end once again. Our meters were massively down. Look, I'm never going to blame referee when you get beat 28 points to 12. The refereeing wasn't good in the first half. It was very one-sided, but you've got to expect that. You're going to a Roosters game on a Saturday night in Parramatta Junior Daniel Tupou's 300th game. You're not going to get a lot go your way. You just got to suck that up and be better. And that's why we say the good teams find a way to do that, but we didn't seem to do that. And we faded towards the end of the game. I think they scored 3 or 4 tries off kicks. It was quite a few when you think about it. So when you take that into consideration, we've done a lot of work to fix up our defence. We weren't getting beat through the middle. When you look at some of our stats for players in the middle, there was a lot of work done there, and they tried to run a lot of traffic there. And Spencer Lanu had an absolute blinder of a game, really stood up, yet he didn't burst through us. So good to see there. Obviously, disappointing result, but an improved performance once again. We dropped a lot of ball, and they dropped a lot of ball as well. It's fair to say if we held the ball a bit better, we probably would have. I don't think we would have ever won the game because, like I said, I just don't think we offered enough in attack to win that game. Your thoughts on the game? We'll go to you first, Hayden. You were there. Your thoughts on the actual game?
First half, I thought there was some heavy contact. I thought Dylan Walker, Jack Williams played really well, especially there in the middle. Not only Eels, but Roosters players as well. Just heavy contact in the first half. Very defensive game to start with, but I can't sugarcoat it. In that second half, really disappointing. And it just feels like deja vu this season where we're in contest. As you said, it never felt like we were going to win that game, but it also didn't feel like the effort was there at all in that second half. They were just making easy yardage. They were kicking and scoring tries in the corner for fun. Obviously, Daniel Tupou having his milestone night. But we've just seen it time and time again where we've been really competitive in that first half, like the game against Manly, and then done pretty much nothing in that second half. Big congrats to Aras Nunva, though, who scored his first try in the NRL late in the game. But, yeah, really disappointing in that second half for mine.
Yeah, fair shout. Fair shout. Troy, your thoughts?
Yeah, outstanding. The first 40 minutes, I thought, especially in defence, as you mentioned. Our starts haven't been the best of late, but, to go in full nil, and it was only a freakish pass from Marky Mark that they did score, which could have went very close to being out. But you're right, plays are pretty sort of predictable as to what we're going to do in attack. But they did the right thing after halftime, got that first try really early on. I thought they're back in the game, but Look, it was always going to be tough against Daniel Tupou in his previous game. He was always going to score one try. I don't know about 3, but he was always going to score one try in his milestone game for sure. But disappointing that back end of that game to let in so many points so quickly.
Yeah, agree. Longy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give you some numbers here because I think you guys have summed up the storyline there.
Here we go.
So on the numbers here, yardage was a big one. So I've just got them in front of me here right now. We had 1,200 meters. They had 1,800. So 50% more yardage than us, which is pretty tough to come back from. Post-contact meters, they nearly doubled this. It was 700 to 400. Tackle breaks, 40 to 24. So nearly double the tackle breaks as well. Play the ball speed, we actually won, which I know is a really important one that we like to track. But the big thing I will shout out here is what you guys are talking about anecdotally with our defense being solid in spite of the lack of momentum is true. Like line breaks 4 to 3. So very similar line break counts. Even looking at all those other numbers, you'd be expecting a much bigger disparity there. So it's a tough one because a lot of this year, I feel like a lot of our games we come out and thinking, we were brave for periods of that game. I'd like us to be better than that. We'll talk about Luai later. Maybe that helps. But
are we going to talk about that?
My frustration.
Who?
Yeah. We'll dive a little bit more in the game, then obviously we'll go into Luai. I forgot to say at the start of the podcast as well. Don't forget, obviously, we're giving away that Vegas giveaway, so enter on that post. But share the podcast tonight, comment, share once you've done it, and we will draw someone at the end that will go into the draw to kick on the 30th of August in Parramatta there. I got the ground sorters, haven't announced it yet, but in Parramatta to win their way to Vegas, kick their way to Vegas, essentially. There's a lot of people sending me messages saying, what's the kicking going to be? Is it going to be 1 kick, 2 kicks, 3 kicks, 4 kicks, 10 kicks? It's going to be a 10-meter kick from in front, a 20-meter kick from in front, a 30-meter kick from in front, then a sideline kick from each side. If we've still got someone left, we'll go to a 40-meter kick from in front. If we've still got more than one person left, we'll go to a dropout from all those locations. If we still have someone left at the end of that, we'll probably just go to the old classic bombs away, and I'll sit there and launch bombs till someone drops one. So we'll be doing pretty well to do that. So, and I'll obviously still be there kicking for Megan. I can't kick bombs to myself, so that's going to be pretty hard. But anyway, we'll see how we go. I reckon you got a good kick on you. You got a good torpy on you?
Yeah, I can put it up. Yeah. It'll be hard to catch. No one there is going to catch it.
Note that at 8:26 on a Tuesday night, Longy can get it up. All right, let's get into the players of the match. No surprise here, as Jack Williams, we just live in it. So Jack got the Eurowork player of the match, voted by us. Jack got the fan-voted player of the match. Jack was the super coach player of the match. He took out the 3-2-1 for the leaderboard, which brought him in. He's making a little bit of a run here as well. It gets him to 8 points, so he's sitting 4th. Obviously back to that 3-2-1 quickly. He took out the 2 and Brown took out the 1. That was actually fan-voted. We usually just do it. We take turns of doing it, 3-2-1. Usually I wouldn't say we usually take turns. It's usually Jason going, 3-2-1 this one, and we just go with that in the group chat. But this week I went to the fan-voted and went from there. So it was Jack Williams' world, as we said, outstanding performance. He got the defender of the week. I realize I haven't done that yet. And he took, I think it was 51 tackles. I look at his stats here. It's the best place I've got him. Actually, it's probably here. But let's look at Jack's stats. He had 107 run meters. I think he had like 12, 11, 10 carries, something like that. 6 tackle breaks, 51 tackles, and an offload. So huge performance by Jack Williams. I'll go to you first, Longy. You're a stats man, but who was your player of the match?
Oh, it's got to be Williams. Like what I was talking about before was the disparity between us and the Roosters was that yardage through the middle, tackle breaks through the middle. Jack Williams led the yardage. He led the tackle breaks. He made that clean bust, set up a try as well. How good seeing Joe Ash in clear space. But yeah, Jack Williams is the easy answer for that.
Yeah, I agree. Troy?
It was Jack. And you can tell when he's on as well for a game because he's running the ball nice and hard into the defensive line. And it's good to see. And I think the captaincy is suiting him as well. And I guess it poses a question. I mean, I know they'll never take it off Mitchell, but would it be such a bad thing if Jack was the permanent captain over Mitchell?
We'll get to that a little bit later after we
No
talk
worries.
about the other news. So it's a fair shout looking into next year. Hayden, Player of the match?
Yeah, I went with Jack Williams as well. I spoke about that middle, but I've got to give a massive rap and honourable mention to Jordan Samrani. He had so many runs in this game and got us out of those yards. He was offloading the ball as well. He was very involved. So for mine, he was a close second, but Captain Jack was my man of the match.
And one shoulder charge too.
Yeah.
One shoulder charge. Allegedly. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty soft. A Christmas giant so we can see Troy as Santa. Well, he's dressed as Santa every day, mate. I don't know what you're worried about. He's there. We might do a Talking Parra Christmas party this year, actually. Somewhere around December. Do a Christmas party and get Troy dressed up as Santa. It'll be great to see. In and out beers instead of lollies.
Ho, ho, ho.
Adults, so that is, of course. I'm going to bring Joel in. We're going to go quickly through the NRLW, then we'll get to the news. So, actually, before I do that, I'm going to bring Jez in. And Jez, I'm going to remove myself, and you're going to run through this NRLW quickly because I'm going to fix up this setup because I fucking hate standing up and I can't do it anymore. I'm going to sit down because it's absolutely wigging me out. So, Jez, you're in, mate. You're in charge, NRLW.
And he did say to blame Jez too for standing up as well. So that was his new position. So,
Troy, I just want to shout out a comment from Rodney. He said, "Is Troy Santa because he only comes once a year?"
well, I mean, what does he know something that I don't? I don't know, but
I don't know your relationship with Rodney. Right,
yeah, I
that's
don't
enough.
either.
That's enough, Troy and Santa chat, I reckon. But the Christmas in July thing will be pretty good. All right, boys, let's jump into the NRLW. It was a 22-8 loss to the Dragons. Hayden, did you catch any of this game? And if so,
I actually didn't catch this game, mate. I was too busy watching your Newcastle Knights at 2 p.m. They put it virtually at the same time. But going into this game, I know it was an away game, but we were heavy favourites. And to come out with a loss like this, especially, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I did watch week one. And in week one, we were beaten early and then we showed promise in that second half. We clearly didn't build off that heading into this game and were blown off the park by a team that we should have beaten.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Parramatta side should have beaten the Dragons in this one, but I think the momentum from last week may have carried over into this. So hopefully they can dust off those cobwebs and jump into the next one. Longy, did you catch any of this game?
I didn't. I was fully in birthday festivities, but I'm having a look at the numbers now. Like dead even possession, dead even completion rates. It just looks like they were stronger in terms of post contact, line breaks, and that side of things. They're more effective with ball in hand. Seems to be the thing.
I think the girls are right on the cuffs too. I think they just need to get an opponent that's probably, well, they should have won this game, but I think once they get an opponent that's a little bit closer to their ability, I think they might go on a run. Troy, give us your thoughts on the women's side.
Well, unlike the previous two, I did catch this game because I had the NRLW on the big screen and the Newcastle game on the phone. So I could have split screen it, but I had it on the phone. But look, just not getting the starts right again. The Tigers the week before went out to 22-0 and this week as well. But, yeah, so it's a little bit disappointing. Just a bit long kicks in the in-goal, which are always frustrating. And, yeah, some injuries as well. Kennedy Charrington come out with an absolute pearler of a big black eye after that game. So she's out this week as well.
That's a big out. It's a big loss for the Parramatta side there. Adam, have you fixed your camera?
I'm good.
Are you back? Are you happy that you're
good.
sitting down again? I tried to make
great.
him stand up to get a bit more dynamic with his
Tried to get me do it, and that was terrible. I couldn't do it. Honestly, I could not do it. Like I lasted longer than I thought I would actually. 15 minutes. I'm proud of that. But I just had to sit down after it, so it was a struggle. So I did obviously watch the game as well. I did the old split screen. I had that on. I had the Knights game on as well, hoping the Knights were going to get smashed. And I also had the New South Wales Cup game on at a period as well on my phone. So I had it all going on. There's a lot of sport to watch. Two disappointing results in the New South Wales Cup and the ladies game. Great result in the Knights versus South game. But as for the ladies, discipline cost them big time. I know there's a lot of people blowing up about Casey Badger, saying she made it all about her. Casey's mates with Troy. She wouldn't do that. But you can't obviously go down 16-0 in 9 minutes into a game and come back and win it. It's going to be very hard. And even though they did obviously make the score a lot closer, 22-8, the damage was done early with the amount of defence they had to do as well. So hard game, hard result. They go again this week. I think they're paying $5.50 if anyone likes a cheeky little punt. They play the Titans up there on Sunday, I think at 11:50. So a couple of changes. The team obviously, as Troy said, with Kennedy Charrington out, Kylie Gray starts, and Fontaine Tufuga comes into the second row. A couple of changes on the bank, and I'm not even going to bother trying to say the one that comes in. Is it Reese Famusaldi? There you go. That's actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Aiden would have somehow chucked an extra L-O in there. So, as I said, Sunday that game is 11:50. So hopefully the girls can get a result there. Look, obviously, before we move on to what everyone wants to talk about, young star of the week I forgot to mention was Team Brown. 47 minutes, 12 runs, 112 run meters, 53 post contact meters, 1 line break assist, and 29 tackles. Let's move on, eh? Bye, Jez. It's been fun having you. Back in the background you go, and we'll get you on a bit later. No, we won't. You're fucking still there.
Wow. How self-indulgent.
Yeah, I know. No, this is going to change. It's going to change when everyone has their say on this, all right? I went big straight away because I've got a fucking lot to say. I kind of prepared a speech. So, yeah, it's not going to go as people thought it was going to go. There's obviously a lot of news to get to, but we'll get to the big one straight away. And it is that the Parramatta Eels have signed another cuckold deal with Jerome Luai agreeing to a 1-year term to come across from the West Tigers before joining the PNG Chiefs. So that's obviously Jerome there with an unnamed character sitting there with Joash Papali'i and Lorenzo Talatini waiting in the wings watching. So, look, I want to start by saying this. If this was 2024 and we'd made this signing for 25 and 26 on a 2-year deal, I think as Parramatta fans, we'd always had that little bit of anger the way he carried on after the 2022 grand final. But I think he's one of those players you love to hate. You'd love to have him on your team as well with his ability. We all know what he can do. 4 premierships, taken Samoa to a World Cup final. Like he's done it all. That's the thing I want to say to start with. Everyone knows the ability of Jerome Luai. Is he going to make us a better team next year? Yes, he's going to make us a better team. There's no doubt about that. But we didn't get that situation to talk to him. Let's go back. Dylan Brown had an option in his contract, right? For some strange, unknown reason, our club, and I know they're going to blame one person who's left now, but our club decided that Dylan Brown's option would come up in December, January, right, to negotiate with clubs for 2026. So that's the start of 2025. Now, if Dylan Brown's option was November 1st or October 2024, like every single other one would be at the end of the year, our club could have turned around 3 months earlier or 4 months earlier, whenever it was, when Jerome Luai signed with the Tigers and gone, Dylan, are you looking to explore the market? Are you looking to do that? And Dylan would have gone, yes, I'm going to test the market. And our club would have gone, Dylan, you can talk to clubs earlier. We'll have a chat with Jerome. Done. We might have got Jerome for 25, 26. He might have even stayed here for 27 if things were going well. But that didn't happen. Okay, so I don't want this to be seen as a success because the reality is it's not a success. We have got ourselves in a position where we have 21 fucking players available for next year, right? And we have to sign what we can. We have got lucky with this deal. Very lucky. The Tigers essentially kicked him out before he goes to PNG. Okay? Like I said, I'm not going to deny it's going to make us a better team. The reality is we have got lucky. Now, everyone be patting themselves on the back saying we've signed an Origin, 5'8", previous Origin 5'8", Samoan 5'8", whatever you want, a halfback, whatever wants to play in that team. It's a great success, but the reality is it isn't because it's 1 year. And I'll say the same thing I said. It's better than Pezzett because at least he's won a comp. He's done all the great things and Pezzett was a rookie. So, yes, respectfully, it's a better option than Lorenzo and Joash because he's done that. But the reality is that it's still a massive fluke. And as a recruitment team, we've still failed. They're 100% under the pump, right? And this is a desperate signing. Everything they do for next year for 1-year deals is a desperate signing. I could say so much more. I think the majority of people agree. Look, I'm happy he's coming, but I'm only happy he's coming because of the shit show we are at the moment. We're going sideways. We're going backwards. We're not going forwards. And yes, it will improve us, but if we don't win a comp, it's another failure. Because once again, in 2028 now, we're restarting. We're restarting with him. If we get Spence, we don't know if that's going to be a 1-year deal. And whether it's Joash, whether it's Lorenzo. But the club spooked to us so much last year after we lost Dylan Brown. And Troy, you were in the meetings. You were in the meetings when we had our SJ meetings. Joel, you were there as well. I don't know if you were in this one. How our future's wrapped up because we've got Lorenzo Talatina and Lincoln Fletcher and stuff like this, right? Yet here we are, fucking we're going to be 3 years later and they're still not going to be ready. And for us, that just shows our priorities wrong. We never had a clear plan. Yes, he's going to get a mentor. That's correct. He's going to get, and so is Joash. They're both going to get mentored by Lua, which is fantastic. But the reality is they sold us this plan about having Lorenzo Talatino as our future. And 2 years later, we've made 2 one-year signings when if we knew he wasn't going to be ready, or maybe he wasn't ever going to be ready, we can go with that because we don't know. He hasn't played first grade yet. But a lot of players star in a lower grade and not make it into first grade. Then we could have turned around and we could have signed a player for 2 years. He's not for 300K, by the way. I think we're paying 700 and they're paying 500 or something like that. Average 1.2 is what I'm hearing. So it's not 300K. Yes, it's a cheap deal, like I said, but let's not paint this as a success. If we win a comp, it will still be a success because we won a fucking comp, but it's the shit situation we've ended in. Like everyone said, trying to make himself look competent. And as a club, we're trying to go, look what we did. We signed him, but it's not. That's my say. I know you've got a bit to say, Long, and you've got to piss off earlier than everyone else. So I'll let you have your say right now on the situation.
Yeah, I've got 3 things to say. Firstly, how funny is it that we had Blaze Talangi and the Panthers had Luai, and now we've got a Luai rental, and they've got Blaze locked up long term. That's absolutely crazy to me. But 2 real things to say here. I'll take a positive and a negative. The negative is that we have a spy in our midst. We have someone who is very clearly incentivized to recruit for the Chiefs, a team that has essentially no salary cap. They can pay double under the same salary cap. And a guy who's probably going to pop in, and if he sees some talent that he wants with him on the Chiefs, is going to encourage that connection to happen. So if we've got young talent, like, I don't know, we've got plenty of guys now, juniors, for example, that could be recruited by the Chiefs, could be a problem. Could be a serious problem. So I'm keeping an eye on that. If we have players start to sign with the Chiefs, I'm going to basically just assume that Luai has been behind it. So that's the negative side. But the positive side is when I look at next year, I was not that enthusiastic about 2027 for Parramatta. And we're looking at our roster. I love Jaden Sewer coming in. I like what Kautonga's doing lately. I like some of the development. But bringing Luai in makes next year intriguing and kind of fun. So as far as someone who's kind of given up on competency at the club, it's entertaining at least, which is such a nihilistic take on this, but I think it'll be fun. That's kind of my positive spin.
Yep, I like some positivity. And like I said, there is some positivity to it, but there's positivity because of the situation we were in. Like if we turned around and had the chance to sign a long-term star 5'8", and like I know Tim Menon was talking about it as well on SEN. When's the last big-name signing Parramatta had? How long has it been? Sorry, there's people talking about Blaze Talangi in the comments. I'll say this now. I can guarantee you Blaze Talangi has no interest in coming back. I can 100% guarantee you that. He's not coming back. We're re-signing with the Panthers. Joel, your thoughts?
Yeah, a couple of things to say. Obviously, first of all, Adam, talking Parra, acknowledge me.
Oh, here we go.
We've got the important stuff.
Thank you, Joel. See you later. Bye-bye.
All right, so we'll go to hang on, put him back in. We'll let him sit there and think about his comments. Troy, mate, your thoughts on the Jerome Luai situation?
Well, yeah, look, there's positives, negatives. I guess, I don't like him as a player because of who he is and what he's done, but he is a good player. The positive is, he's going to be a bit of a role model for those younger players. The negative is it's only for 1 year. So, if he wins us, he will win us football games. If he wins us a lot of football games, we'll get all excited and then he's off again to PNG. So bit of a halfway house for Parramatta halves at the moment.
Transit Lounge.
Yeah, Transit Lounge, whatever you want to call it.
Call Hong Kong because we're a gateway destination to a to a better destination.
Well, it is, and it is just so disappointing, as you mentioned, when
Joel's arm's going to be tired there, I can tell. So let's just leave him. Keep going, Troy.
There is, as you mentioned, Adam, it's just so disappointing when they do have plans in place, and they said they had plans in place, and they're not using those plans, and they're not in place. Now is the time in the year to use those players, and everyone says, well, they're inexperienced and all this, they're not ready, and blah 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 blah. But when are they going to be ready? I mean, just put them in. See how they go. Yes, that can dent their confidence, but it's also going to show what they can do.
It's interesting you say that. So I'm not yawning. You're miss yawning in general. It's interesting you say that because I noticed in the press conference the other day, Jason Riles talking about New South Wales Cup and games in New South Wales Cup. Seems to me he wants to be the one that gets the experience in New South Wales Cup before they come up. So, it's obviously interesting when you look at that because last year we went on that run at the end of the year with Joe Ash there at 5'8". Ronald Volkman's obviously leaving Parramatta. It's come out now that he is leaving. And Pezz's obviously gone as well. So are we playing Joe Ash at 5'8" for the rest of this year, or are we just going to take a chance on Lorenzo? What if one of them play 5'8" from now on in our final, 8 games or whatever it is, and absolutely fucking kill it, and then we sign Luai for next year? Because that's what happened last year. It happened last year. We made that thing, and we're playing razzle-dazzle football, throwing the ball around. We had a 5'8" kill it, a combination that looked good with Smith at hooker, Moses, Papali'i, and Iongi at fullback. And then we went away from that to bring Pezzett in. Now we're going to probably do the same thing next year. Like, do you think the club's secretly sitting there thinking, I hope we don't win too many games because we're going to look stupid again? Hayden, your thoughts on it all?
Look, I like this signing a lot. I think we've been asking for a bit of an X factor signing for a while. As much as the bloke has pissed me off in the past and we've had our moment, I do like the signing. It does concern me that it pushes our juniors back. And Troy makes a good point on the whole, when will they be ready if not ready now? And teams like the Broncos using someone like Tom Duffy, who fans say is not ready and steps up and wins those games in those moments. So there's players like Joe Ash Lorenzo that are definitely missing out on opportunity. It is disappointing that it is a one-year deal, but we always knew he was going to the Chiefs in 2028. Nothing could be done about that currently. However, sorry, I'm distracted by comments. Goodbye. But for me, you mentioned it a couple of times. It's really disappointing how backwards we've gone. And I'm not just talking about in the last 4 years since that grand final. Specifically last season, we actually showed some form. We beat some good teams. We used some young kids that were playing really good football. The way this team has gone backwards without, dare I say it, Dylan Brown is pretty much the only player that's left Parramatta since last year, is just ridiculous. And I'm like Longy, where I headed into next season after, I thought we were going to win the comp at the start of the year, but that was delusional me for the first time ever. But I'm heading into next year with no expectation at all. 16th place, 15th place. Luai probably, I don't know, doesn't get you to finals potentially, but it still moves you up that ladder. It's a tough call. We'll see. There still needs to be other things to mind because, as you said, they're definitely not off the hook. But building nicely, is it good for the young blokes? There's pros and negatives. As you said, they might find other opportunities elsewhere with this one-year deal. But overall, I'm for this signing because I think it means that there's going to be at least one good year before, 6 bad years.
I call it a cup year. Give you a bit of thing. All right, Joel. Now I'm going to give you another chance because the fans want to hear from you. What do you have to say on the Samoan player Jerome Luai's signing?
Well, firstly, thank you to all the fans in the comments. I'm seeing them all, and they're right. They're spot on. You guys need to be a bit more oozy. The acknowledgement needs to happen at some point, so we'll get that happening. But I'll be serious for a little bit. I can honestly see both sides of the argument. Like, honestly, I can see them both. There's part of me that I look at the club's history now. We've done 3 years in a row where we've signed effectively a marquee or a gun signing that the club's paraded around for 1-year deals. So we had Lomax, who was here for a year. We've now had Pezzett, who the club originally said when they were signing him, he was the next big thing. It's going to change our halves and club around. It's going to be fantastic to have 2 lead ball players on, which failed miserably. It's only one or the other, really. And now we're going to be signing Jerome Luai for a year as well. Longy hit the nail on the head, and my biggest worry as well, he's literally been spruiked now for a couple of months about being the main recruitment officer for PNG. Where does that stick us? People saying, he's going to help our kids out heaps and stuff. Is there any track record of Luai helping kids out too much? I don't know how a lot of the Tigers are doing, but I wouldn't say he's doing too much for him, to be honest with you.
He really helped out Lachlan Calvin.
Well, he sort of contradicts himself there as well. So that's an argument for a different day. I won't open those can of worms up either. But honestly, it's and then I can see sort of both because we've all been whinging this year about not winning games. A few people talk about it last year. I keep saying it. Stop looking at last year so much. We were winning football games at the end of the year when it meant nothing. We could play free-flowing football. It means it's a completely different ball game then. We've shown this year, unfortunately, some of those guys have stood up at the back end of last year, haven't been able to do the job regularly and consistently this year. We do need some changes. We need some key positional changes to be winning more football games than we're losing at the moment. We all want to be a more successful team. If that happens next year, and that is helped by Luai coming in and joining Moses, which, to be fair, is one of the strongest halves pairing in the competition next year on face value, then I'm kind of all for it. 700K is cheap. So 700K for a guy who can play of Luai's talents is a good deal. But like you've all said already, the club shouldn't parade this around as a successful deal. Again, they've managed to sign someone who no one else wanted. So this wasn't a bidding war. This wasn't like other clubs came into it. The only club that wanted him was the Perth Bears. He was never going to Perth for a year and then going to PNG. Absolutely no way on the planet was he ever doing that. So there was, once again, we've signed someone where there's been no bidding wars. Just remember, every time we've had to sign someone where there's a bidding war, we've failed. We've lost out. We can't recruit anyone. Luai wants to stay in Sydney, but you can clearly see that. So he gets the best deal. He gets 700K. He gets his 500K from the Tigers. He's happy as Larry. But on the flip side, we need to win football games next year. I think Luai can potentially give us that. He can make us a better team short term. Hopefully, Lorenzo's ready by then, because a few of you have said already in the past that he's not quite ready for next year. Who knows if that changes over the next month or two? Not too sure. But I feel like the club's been spruiking about Lorenzo now for a couple of years, and he's not quite still got there. Where in other clubs and other feeder teams, you see these players come through, they're already there. They're here by now. What's happening with our younger players, that whether they're losing confidence, ability, whatever it is, why is that? Like, what's happening at the moment? Because we could have just saved ourselves a couple $100,000 for next year and signed Keon for that little bit extra, or re-sign someone else, or whatever we needed to do, and had someone like Lorenzo sitting there playing week in, week out for 300K. It just doesn't seem like the business decisions at the club are there. And I know there'll be people that will go, oh, you're hating on the club once again. It's just that we want the club to be successful. We want the teams to be successful, and it's just not. It's not on the who is in charge at the moment. It's not going to happen. We all know it. Maybe this next year, like I said, a couple more wins. Unless we play finals football next year, it's going to be a failure, and they'll have egg on their face once again for another failed 1 year signing.
I disagree about the finals. I disagree if we don't win a comp, it's a failure. Reality, because you got nothing to build on. Like, winning a comp is the pinnacle. Like, you can try and obviously go back to back, but making finals with a team like that and then losing one of the key factors of that finals run or good season, and having to start again means it's a failure. There's a lot of people sitting in there and it's Mark's once again copying it in the comments. I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I'll never blame Mark O'Neill for the recruitment problems at Parramatta. People need to learn what his job is. It's a football manager. There's a lot of things need to change at Parramatta. I'm not going to say who needs to go and all this. I'm not even going to say if he needs to stay or go or whatever. But the biggest problem for so long started well before Mark, with us not wanting to spend money and, not actually wanting to pay those players. So that's changing now. I think we're out there splashing some cash around. So, and it had to change. And it's funny how it's changed when people have to save their jobs. So I want to run through these stats. And I'll quickly run through our team next year and see what everyone thinks based on that likely team will finish. But Bill Stevens posted this in the comments, and he stole it from somewhere. I don't know where he stole it from, but Luai played 14 games for New South Wales, 9 wins, 5 losses, 65% win rate. Luai played 131 games for Penrith, 107 wins, 27 losses, with a win rate of 81.7%. Panthers win rate with Cleary and no Luai, 59.3%. Panthers win rate with Luai and no Cleary is 83.9%. Aussie took Samoa to a World Cup final without Nathan or Ivan, won an Origin decider in Queensland without them, including New South Wales' first try. So there you go. Tigers' win rate before Luai was 25%. Their win rate with Luai 25 was 37.5 and 33. So he's obviously the stats there tell a story is what he's trying to say, and I fully get it in that regard. I've always rated Luai. I rated Luai when he first debuted, when Nathan Cleary was in, I think, one of his first Origins, back when James Maloney was there and he played as the half. I think he's carried on like a flog at times. There's no doubt about that, but I do think he'll improve our team. So interesting, some stats. I don't know how much you love your stats, Longy, so there's some for you. It's just a likely team, I doubt. Obviously, we could sign Jack Howarth. Some hard decisions, but just looking through that team, I know everyone's seen it by now. and some young forwards coming through, the likeliness of potentially signing Spencer as well. If we sign Spencer, he'll want to start. Sewer coming in. You'd have to say that's a much stronger team for Parramatta, obviously, than this year. Where would you see that team finishing roughly, Troy?
6th.
Yep. Hayden?
I'll say 8th.
Longy?
Yeah, I've got us in that Dolphins, like Knights area. So 6 to 8 is pretty on point.
Dolphins
John.
haven't played finals. I hope you haven't got us in the fucking Dolphins area.
They just lost 66-0, which is why I'm thinking of them. But
Joel, what do you got?
I'd say about 10th. And I'd have to go back just quickly what something you said before. I think us playing finals football next year with the squad we currently have would be a success. We've been shithouse for 3 years now. We need to be playing some finals football. And that means if we play finals, we've won more games than we've lost. We've got to be a bit realistic here. I know we're all putting pressure on the club, and rightly so. We can't just go from what we are now to next year winning the competition. It's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. At least let's be a bit more happier on a week-to-week basis, or most weeks, than having this shit-ass feeling we've all had now for a number of years. Finals football, in my opinion, would definitely be a success. And I know what you said about Mark. I just want to say one thing on him because I've been vocal about it. He's been there for a long time now. Yep, people might be over the top of him, but he's at fault for a lot of the decisions as well. It's all of them. It's not just one person. It is all of them. The whole place needs to shake up. There's multiple of them that need to go. I'll say it. No one else needs to. But he's not free in this or this, and he's not getting out easy either. He's at fault for a lot.
Yeah, Joel, can I chime in quickly on that too? Because what you're saying is right. Like for next year in making finals, I'm with you there. Like watching Parramatta has been a depressing experience for a lot of the last few years. And I came into that 2022 grand final, and my love for the Eels hasn't recovered since that moment, like fully. And I just need to have a bit of fun watching Parramatta. And there's been a few games where we've had that, but maybe this signing gets us there and it creates a bit of energy and a bit of fun around the club. That's good for juniors. It's not structurally good. It's maybe not going to help us win a comp. It's not the smartest thing to do, but it's a bit of fun. And
we've got to like round 18 now, 2 years in a row, and known we're not playing finals football. That's shit. That's not.
Yeah, I reckon
enough.
we can just if we're making a move to just scrap for it next year, and then we keep making these moves to scrap for it.
Oh, sorry, 3. Yeah,
I'm okay with it. Like it's better than the alternative, which is holding out on principle and coming last, but having good fundamentals.
Yeah.
And having good juniors coming through.
Good juniors coming through. They're coming.
Great potential.
They're like Troy. They're coming eventually. All right. Sorry, Troy. You're confident. You're confident today.
Acknowledge me.
All right. Look, obviously, with that news comes. Long, you'll let you go if you want to as well, mate. So if you want to chime out,
I'll jump at about 5. It's good chat.
He wants to stay.
He's
It's
too
good
keen.
fun once you're rolling.
Long you last longer. All right.
Can we have a quick chat on what's he called it? Jackie Howarth.
Yep. We'll do that. Just let me obviously just acknowledge this first.
Yeah.
I need to
You
acknowledge
acknowledge that one.
something.
Acknowledge
Bounce
that first, Adam.
I'll acknowledge that. Australian schoolboys team come out and 5 Parramatta Eels players. Man, it's pretty much a Parramatta and Newcastle team. It's quite funny because I know all the kids in the Newcastle team. But Liam Martin, Cyrus Bloomfield, Stephen Nunn, Jaira Trey Stewart, and Hayden Bell all made that team. So congrats to those guys. Jack Howarth, what do you got on Jack Howarth?
I don't know if I'm being overcritical, but I have not seen enough of him at all so far. Like there's been a lot of talk.
Shit, sorry.
Oh,
My bad.
Okay, thank you, Joel. What are your thoughts,
we haven't
Hayden?
seen enough of Joel, I guess.
Now you can acknowledge me, dog. Fucking acknowledge me.
There's been a lot of talk of him. What you're saying, sorry, I didn't realize you weren't in that one. I just wanted to change the angle so it wasn't fully focused. Go.
Honestly, like we've seen, he's been this wonder kid for so many years now. If the Storm have gotten to this point with him and invested so heavily in him, why are they all of a sudden so happy to let him go? That I don't. And I've seen a lot of fans spruik about how good this Howard's potential signing is. I don't really buy it. Again, I just feel like we're getting the scraps and we're that desperate. We're going to be like, oh, yes, sweet. Yes, he's probably better than a fair bit of what we've got currently. But I just don't think Jack Howarth is anywhere near as good as some people are trying to spruik him to be.
Can I back that up with some stats here? He scores 2 tries every 10 games at the Storm. So he's playing in the best possible system ever. Like, we're seeing Joe Chan scoring hat tricks. Moses Leo's scoring every other week. Jack Howarth, 2 tries every 10 games.
And he's hardly on the field.
Yeah, has he been injured a lot this year?
Yeah,
anyway,
but 2 every
as well?
10 games. That's pro rata.
Yeah.
So when he's on there,
Yeah, but
he's
even
not
still.
that effective. Like try assist, that's also 2 every 10 games. Not a
And
great
that's for the
attacking
Storm.
creator. Yeah.
And he
so-
didn't even score a try last week.
Do you guys
although
remember
he got
Maurice
one.
Blair at the Storm scoring tries every week? Like it's hard
Remember
not to score
Isaac
tries.
Lumi at the Storm, then he come to Parramatta.
And he's got to verse us twice this year.
Luke Kelly.
Yeah, like someone said, I think it was Brent who's been overly excited in the comments because his Knights are actually doing something for once. But
Oh.
for now, so
Yes, muted him. Well done, whoever that was.
Got him.
That was Jez.
fuck you.
Got him.
Anyway, he for me, he's not. I know it sounds weird, like it's a good depth signing, but I don't think he's better than what we've got, and that seems weird to say. But you've got Sam Rani, you've got obviously Will Penasini, and then you've got potentially Bailey Simonson. I agree, we need another centre. We definitely need another centre, but I'd be going for a younger mid-range one than someone that's going to come with a bit of value. There was talk of him playing Origin, obviously a few months back and last year and stuff, but never quite got to that level again. And is obviously struggling, at Melbourne. The frustrating thing for that one, is obviously wanted him to train with Zach Lomax. I've been sent a message saying that Storm won't let him go to Parramatta based on the Zach Lomax bad blood anyway. So I don't think we'll be getting him unless we're paying a lot of money towards that. So I don't think we'll have to worry about that one. But I agree. So on our centre, I'll be looking at Tago or Timoko.
Timoko for sure.
Timoko, that option. We start to bring Tago and we start to get too many already built clicks there. And I think that's already going to – I'm not saying the boys are put off by Lua coming. Not that I talked to any of them. But what I will say is that if you start to bring in Spencer, you bring in Luai, and then you bring in Tago, you've got that little bit of a click coming across from Penrith. It could create some problems. So there we go. That's pretty much it about the Luai situation. And there's a lot of obviously thoughts in the comments and stuff as well. But yeah, move on. Longy, you going now? You staying?
Yeah, I'm rocking. So good
You're
sesh.
one minute-
Just
you're
a
one
few
minute
people in
left.
the comments too. Those stats are for the last 3 years for Howarth. So a lot of excuses flowing through. None of them valid. Anyway, catch you lads. Have a good rest of the night.
See you, mate. Good to
Good
see
night.
you.
All right,
Okay,
let's
good
go to the
Oh, Jez, what are your thoughts on that? Oh, Hayden, what are your thoughts?
It's a shit show tonight. It's like fucking. It's like when you go through the doors on Play School, you never know what's going to happen. All right. Obviously, the news with Luai signing means that Ronald Volkman is going. He is departing. I just want to highlight that he's a 26 there. I had some comments on Instagram. If you don't get it, I'll tell you off air. It is definitely the number 26. Volkman is leaving the Parramatta Eels. I think he'll be heading to the Super League. Casualty of the Luai deal. We've got the depth there. Lincoln Fletcher, obviously a 7. Lorenzo, Joash Papali'i. You have to think that would be, close to the New South Wales Cup spine next year. Joash, obviously an extended role on the bench like is this year, but he's gone. Volkman, your thoughts on Volkman going, Hayden?
Yeah, look, he's had some really good games this year and developed really well under his time at Parramatta when getting those opportunities. But for mine, as Joel said, we need to be winning those games. So, look, it's unfortunate he's become a casualty, but for mine, I think Luai is going to step up bigger in those moments with that experience more than Ronald. So I expect us to win more games next year with Luai in jersey 6 rather than Volkman. But again, we've spoken about it lots of times. Joash not getting his opportunity, Joash and Lorenzo getting pushed back is a little bit of a worry with no future plan in place after 2027.
Interesting point there, Diggs. What I've heard is the Eels did make him an offer and he did reject it. I've heard it was quite a disrespectful offer, and he'll get more money, obviously, over in the Super League where he'll fucking kill it. Joel, thoughts on Volkman departing?
Yeah, we've got an upgrade on Luai for a year. Again, I know he got a really good deal of Super League, but before that, there's no NRL clubs that have come out to get him either. So I know our fans that are going on about this and acting like it's vintage JT that's left the club. Yes, he's been pretty good this year, very much, and absolutely love what he's done for the club. But I guess it is what it is. We've got some good depth coming in there. We've got some good youngsters coming through. Like we have all said now, it's about time they get a legit chance if an injury comes early next year. Lorenzo, whether it's Lincoln Fletcher, Joash has already proven what he can do in that position. unfortunately for Joash, I think he's starting to fall victim a little bit of when he can come off the bench and fill in for it, whatever it's fullback, it's 5'8", whatever it is, he does a remarkable job. So it's almost getting to the point where, yes, it feels like a lot of us are screaming, yeah, he needs to get some sort of almost start, but he's almost just as good and valuable off that bench covering in multiple positions where he comes on against a tiring pack and can create such a big impact for us. So it's a tough one.
Do we look at it? And I know I floated the idea of it this afternoon as well when I put that thing up. And Diggs, as you said there, does he take Walker's role? Now let's look at it. Like Joash isn't as short as what that people think he is as well, because I've had a photo with him, and it says he's 172 or 173 centimeters, I think.
Were you allowed to take a photo with him?
This was a while back. This was
okay.
January.
Last year. That was last year. But he's actually taller than me. I'm 178 centimeters. He's taller than me, so he's not 174.
Must be taller than me then too.
So I think he's about 180, I'd say, based off that photo. Yeah, you're a short ass. And Dylan Walker's 181 centimeters. Joash would obviously have to put on some weight, but we're really going to struggle next year. I know there's people saying, look at Humphreys, Harrison Edwards is there, maybe Junior can do the role and all this kind of stuff. Someone to come on and open up our attack like Dylan Walker has is obviously going to be really missing for us next year. Playing Papali'i on the bench at 17. What is the I shouldn't have read that comment. 17. Fuck.
Around.
You got me. You got me. You got me. Well done. Well done, Brent. Well done.
Shout out to you, Hampo. You're on one tonight.
Playing him at 17. Lonnie's disappeared again and got in the comments like he did last week. He could have just fucking stayed. So does he go play that like lock roll, open up the middle? And obviously then you've got him there as well if your 5'8" goes down or he puts on a bit of size, your center or your fullback, something like that. Troy, your thoughts? Can he do that?
Yeah, I think he could. We've seen in the past players have been sort of knocked around a bit, being Mr. Versatile by playing a lot of positions. So, maybe he could do that bench role like Walker does at the moment. I mean, Walker's done a great job, and I'm sure Joash could do the same thing, bulk up a little bit, and then he's got that ball playing ability and, could certainly make an impact on the field off the bench.
Hayden?
100%. He's so Parramatta focused and wants to be here that regardless of what position, he'll put his hand up to play, whether that be centre, wing, 5'8", fullback due to injury, whether it be losing weight, putting on weight. I'm convinced that he's so Parramatta happy that he'll do it for Riles and find his way back into the team, even if he doesn't play, for 8 weeks while he's doing that, and then shows that opportunity from Cup, he gets his spot.
Yeah, fair. Joel, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree.
Good thoughts.
You can do it. So I was trying to.
I think he could do it, and like a few comments said, he needs to put size and stuff on. But if we're smart with it, he comes on when the pack's already tiring. So, and to be fair, watching him week to week, there's not many times I can pick out where he's actually completely missed tackles. Like he actually holds his own in defence multiple times. He has big men running at him on the edges, like people like Hamole and stuff will run at him, and he takes him down. So I'm not that worried about his size. Good ball playing, bit of speed. Might not be the worst case. It's obviously good to have him. Just interested to see how they all fit in, because apparently less than 12 months ago, there was talk around that Riley Smith was becoming that sort of player as well, and now he hasn't really got a spot. So
that's another option as well. He could also do that role. Then he can obviously play him at hooker as well. So everyone forgets Walker started as a centre, then went to a 5'8", and then obviously has turned into a bench lock, essentially, lock then a bench lock. So I think it's very possible. The majority of fans are saying yes to that. So except for
1.5.
1.5. That was up when they were asking for the measurements. There you go. So that's pretty much. There's not a lot else to talk about, to be honest, guys. I think we've kind of got through it all. So I'd probably obviously go to some fan questions. We'll talk about this, which was Logan Ezzy Photography. Go across, give him a follow on Instagram, put a post up. We're going to be using a lot of his photos. Passionate Parramatta fans just goes to the game and takes photos. A lot of his photos for all of our content from now on. So it's good to see. Means we won't run into any problems as well. So show him support on Instagram there, it's Logan Ezzy Photography. So go across and give that a follow if you can.
Done.
There was a bit to talk about then. We've left it to the end because we know he's going to be a shitty little motherfucker. So full time last Wednesday night. It's been a week nearly. The New South Wales Blues ran away with a 30-12 win over those Queensland Maroons. Look at him. He was so fucking cocky last Tuesday as well. Like so cocky. And then this happened. Mitchell Moses becomes the second Wales half to win a decider at Suncorp, which is crazy to see. He is the king of Suncorp, and he got 721 kick meters, 23 tackles, and 64. It shows what Mitch can do with another dominant half, and that's why I'm a little bit excited for Luai as well, because Cleary played as a 5'8". Every single person watching that game, it didn't matter what numbers they wore, you could tell that Mitch was playing 7 and Cleary was playing 6 when you look at the old school game. Cleary was running when he had to run. Mitch was controlling the game, and that's what he's capable of. Before we go to anyone else, so quick thoughts on Origin. Hayden, what's the excuse, mate? What do you got? They're still Queenslanders?
We're still Queenslanders. Look, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. The Blues played really, really well. Props to Nathan Cleary. Props to Isaiah Yeo. I thought Isaiah Yeo had his best game in a Blues jersey in a very long time. Felt like it was a whole team effort as well. There wasn't really anyone that was like the weakest link for mine for the Blues. I feel like each Origin game, you've sort of nitpicked those players and said there's a weak link, but they really turned up and they just wanted it more. So congratulations, New South Wales Blues.
Thank you. That must have been hard to say. Cheers. You've been quiet in the background. Did you expect that? Because I certainly didn't on Wednesday night.
God, no. No, where did that come from? But I'm very happy about it. I think it also goes to show what Mitchell Moses is very capable of when the forwards go forward. So you get a good pack in front of him. You get some good players around him. He's going to be so dominant. And I keep saying it, he's my favourite halfback in the game. The way that he played on Wednesday night was exceptional. So come on, Parra. Do yourself some favours and look at tightening up that middle for your boy Mitch and now Jerome.
Is he a better halfback than Dylan Brown, though, Jess?
Well,
Yes.
Dylan Brown's not a halfback, so...
Everyone knows.
Yes, he is. He plays 7.
He's your number 7 at the night. Anyway, don't worry. It went over your head, mate.
No, it didn't. I don't always have my night sun glasses on, Hayden.
Yeah. Hayden does at Magic Round. Joel, your thoughts on Origin?
Just a couple of comments I want to talk about in the comments section. They
Comments, yes.
they want to acknowledge
they're not
me.
coming
So
through.
I appreciate it.
They're not coming through on my end.
Hold you.
People aren't leaving.
Let's just address this for people that have no idea what the fuck you've been going away all night. So, this is Skip, Supercoach Skip. I did a little poll Instagram story, and it was to go on. It was to vote for your favorite podcast, whatever. And after we successfully got Joel through last week against Hello Sports, because you know the enemy is my friend. We successfully got him through. We then had to verse him. So I kind of wish I never got him through because I know he would have had our back against Hello Sports as well. Hello Sports, is that what their podcast is? Troy? Hello Sports? Yeah.
Hello, Sport.
I get confused. I think Hello World, but yeah. Anyway, they turn around and we had to verse Joel. And Joel...
Thanks, Dean.
Joel
Dean.
got
Is
it.
that easy? Just what
Joel-
Dean did.
Joel got us on Instagram. But the reality is, like, most of our followers are on Facebook, especially our active ones. So I won't acknowledge you. I won't fall in line. I've challenged you to a to a tribal welfare match at Magic Round next year or whenever you're down. Me, you, just a little bit of a wrestle 1-on-1, the first one to get the pin. If you beat me, I'll acknowledge you. All right? See if you're strong enough. So anyway, what's your thoughts on Origin?
Just going back on your word. I'll take the win. It's okay.
That's any podcast, Chief.
Acknowledge me. Outstanding. Honestly, we get Origin. It's fair to say. So all this talk about Queensland spirit, it's a myth. It's the biggest myth in world sport. It doesn't exist. The Blues spirit is what I want to talk about. It is alive and well. Unlucky. Billy Slater under immense pressure now. What's he lost? 4 of the last 10 games. Mate, he just doesn't get Origin. It's fair. It's simple. He got owned by Jared Hayne in his playing days, and now he's back getting owned by Laurie Daly in State of Origin, apparently by many the worst Origin coach of all time. So, well done. Thank you. What's this one? Serious question. Is that hair of yours?
You mean a turkey, Joel?
Mate, no, but you can acknowledge me as well. What is your name? Gala or something like that. But yeah, acknowledge me as well in the comments. Thank you. All the fun. I will.
If you have been to Turkey, Joel, can you flick us a message on how it went? Because I'm considering it. That's all.
Like, more natural. It's starting to get more and more grey as well. So
yeah.
Oh, well, it was never in doubt, was it? I mean, we were just saving the best for last up there in Queensland, Suncorp. You know, that player, what was his name? Casey Maguire didn't even get a start for New South Wales. That's how good we're going. But, you know, it was just great to see. They played their best game at Suncorp in the last one. I don't know where that was in game 2. But, yeah, it was just the best. And New South Wales are winners, champions. Bring back Loz next year.
Yep, cool. Lovely. I do that to you all the time. So I was just sending to a photo.
Dean.
Yeah, no, you weren't really listening, were you? But that's okay.
This is when I was allowed to Parramatta events and talk to players, but you can clearly see he's taller than me. Okay, and I'm 178 centimeters. Now, I'm not lying about my height because I don't need to lie about my height. I'm not on Tinder anymore. And, you know, when you're in your height, you got to seem tall because apparently they're like tall kings or something. So back in my single days, obviously, guys. So you can clearly see he's taller than me there unless he's standing on his tippy toes, which I don't think he is. So there you go. So yes, definitely more than 175 centimeters. And there you go. Yep. Cool.
That's a good,
all right.
I'm glad you cleared that up for us, Adam. That was brilliant.
That's a good photo.
That photo was dated last weekend, I think. So
funny. All right, let's put someone into the competition thing to kick their way to Vegas. As usual, Jez has starred too many comments, but it's all right.
You'll get through it.
I have starred questions that the avid listeners and watchers want answered, Adam Martin.
Yeah, okay. 6, 7. Okay, there's 7 people shared it. You idiots, only 7 people shared it. That's easy. And some of which are already in the draw. And one can't be in the draw. So anyway, number 6. There you go. Ahmed Al-Medan, message the page, mate. You are in the draw to kick your way to Vegas. You don't actually need a message. You do need a message page. I'll put you on the list anyway.
He's probably still here anyway.
He probably has been here. He's always here. So
yeah.
I actually met him the other night as well, which was good. So
yeah, he said that.
Yeah, he commented that earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. It's always good. Always good to meet fans. You know, I don't know. I actually had someone come and ask me for a photo as well again, right at the end of the game. I just wanted to get out of there. So anyway.
Did you get the photo done?
No, I said no. So I'm just trying to enjoy the origin. How'd you get the photo on, you fucking idiot? All right. Let's get to the questions. First one from Rob. Why on earth have we offered Dylan Walker contract? It's been our best 2 years. What's your thoughts on this one, Joel, to start with?
It's a joke. That is a joke. We should have given him, if he wanted the 2 years, give him the 2 years. He's easily been our best forward, in my opinion. I said this last week. Pretty disappointed still about it. He's like, I think blind Freddie can see the impact he has on most games when he comes on. Some people have said this year he hasn't been quite as good. Hello, he's been playing as busted could be. So for a lot of those games and still out there for a couple of those weeks there, his arm was in a sling. So it's just ridiculous that the club can look at that and not give the guy what he asked for, which was an extra year. I understand why he was annoyed by reports the other weekend when he left on his moto and he said a few honest thoughts on his on things. I don't blame him. And it's those players you want at your club who want to go out every week and play, whether they're busted or not. That was Dylan Walker. You can see the leadership he has. You can see often on the field he's talking to the players and things like that. We'll miss him a lot then next year. Absolutely, we'll miss him a lot.
It's interesting because, like we said, we spoke about the SJ stuff before. We were there, Troy. I think you were actually this one as well, Joel. Remember the whole talk of moving Gutherson to that ball-playing lock, making him a player like Dylan Walker. And then things happened in New Zealand and Dylan Walker became available and all of a sudden Parramatta signed him. It seems weird that a coach was prepared to turn a player into like another player, then that player's been here for a little over a year and a half and now all of a sudden they're gone. I don't think this was a coaching decision. Reports are there was a 1-year deal offered to him and it was taken off the table after the Warriors game and he was happy to take that, or 2 years. He'll kill it at Leeds. We know that, but there's a bit more to this one. I'm not suggesting anything, but I'm saying it's not all as it seems because I can't see Riles. Riles actually come out in the press conference the day before it was announced he was leaving and said that how important he is to our team, and now he's gone.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I'll highlight what someone said in the comments there as well. No other clubs have won him in the NRL. So there might be a bit more to this, and we're not going to turn around and blame Dylan or the club in this situation, but there's something going on.
I think it's a shame though, Adam, because could you imagine what him, Luai, and Mitch Moses would do running around the park together? Like him coming in as the 13 or a ball playing 13 or even as a 14. Like that's next level.
Yeah, for 1 year. Would have been a great 1 year. Fantastic.
Could have been the year.
Premiership.
All you need.
Could
That's
have
all you
been
need
the
sometimes.
1 year. We've seen 1 year. The next questions are, will I elaborate why Blaze won't come to Parra? Does that mean his brother will leave? I just know he's not coming. That's all I'll say. He's got a lot of respect for, and he won't be at Parramatta at the current time. We'll say that much, unless some things change.
What about his brother? Do you have any news on that?
Well, if his brother doesn't get a chance soon, you would think he would be going too. I mean, players want to play first grade. If they're not getting an opportunity, they get it somewhere else.
Correct. I think he'll play first grade next year. Though I've actually got him close to pushing for that bench early in the year. I think he could debut this year. I think it's one of those ones you just chuck out and see what they can do. Like Team Brown, for example, has been one of our best forwards, and we just gave him a run to see what he could do. So let's go to this one because I know you're a massive fan of him, Hayden. Is Riley Smith still in our future? What's your thoughts on the current situation with Riley?
Well, it really seems like he's not going to be part of our future. I mean, he seems to have pretty much recovered from that sternum injury. A little bit of frustration there in Cup, but, you know, we've got Harrison Edwards who's been playing a bit of 9, a bit of the middle. I think he's better in the middle than he is at 9. I still don't rate the service, but I do rate him defensively. Between him and Talon De Silva, look, Talon De Silva, yes, gives away some penalty, has an error or two in him, but I feel like there's more spark in Talon. I've really, really enjoyed the time with Riley, but I think he's very close to going. Whether that be next year or he does play Cup next year and then goes, I hope I'm wrong because I love the bloke, but I don't think I see him in Parramatta's future.
You love a man. Anyway, I still personally think he should be a 9. I still love him starting a 9. We're hearing he's still recovering from this sternum injury. If you're recovering from a sternum injury, you're not playing New South Wales Cup. I'm once again going to be very careful, but I'll say I don't find a coincidence that Riley was never part of the plan when a club is under pressure for signing players and not being able to sign players. And the podcasts, well, the podcasts that have the balls to talk about it are talking about it. And fans are talking about it and they're making comments about our recruitment and retention, all this kind of stuff. It doesn't surprise me that our big signing from last year was Talon De Silva on big money. He is playing hooker. Harrison Edwards, the only player we could sign this year, is in the team as well, starting at hooker. Like, that game was on the line at 10-4, and Talon had to come off to put Harrison Edwards there. I like Harrison Edwards as a player. He's solid, but he offers nothing in attack. And then Jack DeBellin's also in the team, who was one of our signings from last year. Jack DeBellin will not be part of this club next year, yet he's still playing football in our team. It's a no-brainer. Riley at 14 or at 9, Talon at 14 or 9, Harrison Edwards starting at 13 for the rest of the year. Start planning for next year and see what these guys can do, give an opportunity. Because why have blokes there that aren't part of the plans?
Harrison Edwards was a wasted signing. I'll just go out and say it.
It's a wasted signing. The bloke's done nothing wrong. Like, let's be honest. He's been very solid. Like, he's a very defensively solid lock. But I haven't seen his ball playing ability at lock because we haven't really been given that opportunity to see that because they've been wasting him at hooker where his service isn't good enough because he's not a hooker. At all. He's a front row lock that can play 9. So I know Mitch is a great player, but should be looking for another half. This question's been asked quite a lot. There's a lot of people starting to talk about it, and that's why I did that post last week. You can see the frustration with Mitch, and I think Mitch would have had a lot to do with the Luai deal as well. I did this video about it. For me, I think Mitch has every right to be frustrated because I don't think we put the quality of player around him. But should we be moving on with the injuries he's had and the amount of games he's played? I'll go to you first, Troy. should we be looking to move Mitch on before the end of his contract, looking to sign a Tom Dearden or a Sam Walker or someone like that?
Oh, that's a tough one. No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe it's just a period in his career that he is getting these injuries. No, I don't think so.
New Troy. Joel?
I would. If it's to get Dearden, not Sam Walker. I don't think Sam Walker would fit and suit what we've got currently. He needs to play behind a forward pack that's completely dominating, it feels like. Tommy Dearden, though, he's a tough footy player. He literally is no frills. He will go about it. He'll go and do his work. It'd be an on the front foot signing, so I'd say our club won't do it because they never are on the front foot with their signings. But look, someone might get good Moses for a year or two, and for the right time of year. Yep, sure. But we've seen now for 3 or 4 years now, we just haven't quite gotten value for money out of Mitch Moses, and that seems like the biggest talking point when it comes to Mitch. Yep, we've seen the club play probably pretty well this year when Mitch hasn't been in. I don't know what to make of that either. But yeah, I would probably, if it's for Dearden, I'd probably do it.
Hayden?
Yeah, I probably would as well. I think we have given Mitch the opportunity for so long to get us into that position. Our recruitment hasn't been good enough around him, so it hasn't given him that go forward that we spoke about earlier, especially in the forwards. But for someone like Dearden, absolutely. Walker, 50-50 on it, but yeah, I guess so. I think there's not many dominant halfbacks in the NRL. I guess you could throw Jerome Hughes, Nico Hines, maybe Cleary, obviously, as well in there. Besides that, there's not really anyone else. But, I mean, Mitch has had his time,
Katoa.
10 years.
Katoa.
Isaiah Katoa, there you go. There's another one. Yep. Obviously, not right now. You wouldn't take him injured, but Parramatta might on a 1-year deal. But no, I think absolutely. I think that we are looking towards future plans, and Mitch is getting to the end of those. And if it happens to be before the contract, so be it, because we need to be looking more to the future. And I think right now, yeah, he's missed a lot of game time, unfortunately, as much as we love him.
The other one is...
I just throw his eyes up there at Jay's comment. Jay, he's a Roosters fan, by the way. That's
okay, good. When I saw that pop, I was like, you're dreaming.
Before you
the
go,
other one
Joel,
is... Sorry.
No, go. I'll let Jez have his say as neutral on this.
Sorry, just a quick one. The other one is, and this is where the club is at the moment, but Cleary has literally said he's going to the open market in a couple of months. Why can't we just go, you know what? Let's just go all in and go for Nathan Cleary. Like, why is that out of stretch? It shouldn't be for us. It shouldn't be. Parramatta Eels should go, you know what? Nathan Cleary has said openly he wants to go to the open market. Yet people think Chiefs and all that money in that. But why can't we, with the salary cap going up and up, go
$2 million?
If he, mate, I'd honestly give him that. With the way that money's going up in the salary cap, I'd go all in with him and say, here you go, job for life, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, he probably won't take the job for life. He'll go back to Penrith at some stage to coach and things like that. But for the next 4 or 5 years, let's have Nathan Cleary, and I've got no doubt he can hopefully deliver us, who knows, a premiership. But that's someone you could build around. Like the best player in the comp.
Yeah. I know you've had that view for a while, and I agree with it, but I just can't see him, as someone said, playing anywhere at Penrith. I think when he says I'm going to go test the open market, he's going to end up in rugby. He's going to end up in England for sure, British rugby. I
Probably.
love wins. Love always wins. So, Ches, as a neutral, what would you do regarding Mitchell Moses?
It's a hard one because I think you guys are purely looking at it as, he hasn't played much. He is an elite player, but the team that he's playing around at the moment, it doesn't matter who's standing in that halfback position. I don't think you're going to win many games. So if it's purely just you want your gun 7 on the park, then yeah, it's probably time to look to swap him out because he's just not playing enough games. But if you want it to be a straight swap for Mitch, I don't know. I think there's other places you need to be focusing rather than your halves at the moment because it doesn't matter who's standing behind that pack at the moment. It's not going to get you the victories that you're after just yet.
It's a fair shout. I think our forwards are going to come through. I know a lot of talk about our young forwards. I do honestly believe our young forwards are the best thing coming through about this club at the moment because I've been watching a lot of Cup and a lot of Flag and all this kind of stuff, and they're getting better and better every week. I still think we need to sign a strike centre for 28.
I think Rob needs a Snickers. He's been on one tonight. He's just excited he's going to Vegas. Holy gosh.
He's going to get a double than Dylan's deal, $20 million at Newcastle.
He's at everyone. He gets his every time. He knows how to get under people's skins. So, well, that's probably what Cleary would do that for the Roosters. It'd be a $20 million deal, but only 3 years, and it'd only be 1.4 on the cap. But yeah, we need to strike centre, but we're starting to look at 28 now, and there's a possibility that 27 could produce something. Come November 1st, do we blow a club out the water with, someone like a Herbie and say, we're going to sign you for 28. How can we go about getting you now? What can we give the Dolphins for 27 that we might have sitting up our sleeve? Because, I don't think we have a lot, to be honest, that they'd want centre-wise and stuff. But it's just an interesting thing to look at because, as everyone said, like 27, I was not looking forward next year. I was thinking, you know what? Next year we're going to finish bottom 4 again. I genuinely don't think we'll win a comp, but I think that has a bit of who is Galaga? I don't even know who this person is. Please send me a message to Paige. I need to know who you are. I love it. Doesn't stop. He's made me laugh quite a few times. I'm now looking at 2027 and thinking to myself, we can play final football, which as a Parra fan, I guess gives you a little bit of excitement, but there's a way we could add a bit more and get someone earlier because we all know these early releases are a thing. Then obviously you can have a little bit more excitement. Pretty much it. I don't think there's much else to add.
Now, before you go, because it stings back to that this Luai signing is a bit of a Band-Aid approach for your recruitment.
Correct.
So how are you going to land a big person anyway? Because when it becomes a bidding war, like if there's another club that's in a similar position, how are you going to lure that player to Parramatta in comparison to, because we haven't got, I said we, gross. You haven't got one yet.
One of us.
I'll acknowledge you, Jeremy.
Welcome.
It's bleeding into my brain. You've got to acknowledge that there's bigger problems still at the club around that. You can't land the big fish just yet. So
helicopter.
It's not that. It's paying overs. Like the thing is, like, offer him a 1-year deal and pay. No, just offer him just pay overs. We have to pay overs for that next big fish. Because you're right. Because Luai, like, it's a Band-Aid. He had nowhere else to go, as we said. But if we're talking about a Herbie or someone like that, what would you Parra have to pay? Have Adam sign? Yeah,
talking Penrith.
Can we make a compilation of Adam saying if we were to sign a Herbie? Because over the last couple of weeks, it would make a fucking funny video for Instagram.
So I'm just trying to put it out there. I want it to happen. Someone
put it into the algorithm.
Osborne now on the market from a night. Please don't. No, we don't need it. We don't need a lock. Like we've got Hopgood, we've got Harrison Edwards, we've got Junior that can play there next year. I don't think we need a Corey Horsburgh that, like angry rangers are a bit scary for me. You never know what they want to do on the field. Like I'll take a Hudson Young in the second row. I'm not angry. But yeah, Adam 20 million to Newcastle. I could have gone to fucking PNG for tax-free money. I said no. But anyway, any other questions anyone wants to ask? Fire them away. Anyone got a fun question? Joel, you got a fun question?
Is the whole contract situation all up in the air in terms of that you're able to sign with the club 2 years out rather than just the year after?
What?
What do you mean?
That's not fun. What the fuck was that fun?
Forget it then.
There you go, Troy. Answer Tom's question.
Now, someone give me a fun question. Liam Martin is available soon. Yep, we've already got a Liam Martin. Actually, he's the one that just made the Australian schoolboys. So Roosters entertaining young court. The Roosters, everyone. Has Joel booked in his therapy sessions? Any updates on Spencer? Finally, someone with a question. It's gone quiet. Haven't heard a thing.
We're going for a 1-year deal. We'll get him for a 1-year deal. Yeah, seriously, that's what I've actually heard will happen. So that's actually maybe legit. That's actually what I've heard will happen. He will sign for a 1-year deal and go to the Chiefs.
I'm hearing that too, but I think it's gone cold because I think that was in the agreement before the Luai thing happened. And now I think the club has started to think to himself, holy fucking shit, we actually can't do this.
Imagine that. Two sightings for 1 year.
2 cuckold deals sitting there.
Which, to be fair, will be happening a lot more. Like, I've actually heard a rumor that Oh, bloody old mate from the Dolphins is going to be going to the. Oh, Ray Stone will be going to the Panthers for a 1-year deal and then signing with the Chiefs. I've heard that rumor come up. So it will be happening to some other. Jack DeBellin, yeah, and obviously
Jack DeBellin's going to do 2 1-year deals, then 1 year. He's going to do 3 1-year deals in 3 years.
Who's going to go after JDB next year? Honestly, he has shown he's literally just trying to play now to stay relevant for PNG
Newcastle.
for 1 year to have that
Super League.
No,
Yeah,
Troy, that's off to the Super League. Everybody knows that.
I'll tell you this much, right? And this isn't going to be very popular. I would keep Jack DeBellin at Parramatta next year on a very small deal. And his small deal would be, Jack, you're playing, you don't hear me out. We haven't filled our top 30 squad for the last 2 years. We're probably not going to fill our top 30 squad next year, right? To have someone with Jack's experience to say, Jack, you're playing New South Wales Cup. If we ever need you, you'll get a chance at first grade, but you're in New South Wales Cup. Your whole role is to help our young forwards coming through. I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest. To have someone with that ability in his career, that experience in his career, defensively, he's still solid. Just doesn't do anything in attack.
Honestly, you can go back onto the SGA for that comment. You get a punishment.
Would you, Troy? Would you keep him for 1 more year? Just to have him around? You know, we're not going to fill our squad then, yeah.
Minimum wage, yeah, why not? Then he can go to PNG in 28.
Yep. Troy? I mean, you are Troy, Hayden?
Yeah, I would. I mean, look at the injuries we've had this year, and he's done an okay job in that number 13. So let's say it's a similar year next year with those injuries. He starts off playing cup again, but he can do a job. And we're probably not going to be, you know, if there are injuries, we're going to be pretty scarce on that lock position next year. We're going to have to put someone like Geimer there.
So that's a very nice one. Poor Charlie. Well, Charlie did deserve that comment.
I don't mind Geimer over JDB every day of the week for me.
Charlie just needs to get back on the KFC diet like when he first debuted. He's lost too much weight. He's got too fit. Charlie, if you ever watch this podcast and you need help on how to put on weight, just come see me. I'll help you out. So it's pretty easy. So start losing sponsors with comment. Is that a threat? Let's get threatened by Eurowork. So wow. Go home. Get out of my area. So anyway, no, I like I said, I just think on a minimum contract, and we're not going to fill our squad anyway, like he could help our young forwards in cup, because that's obviously what we're prioritizing as a club. We're prioritizing trying to get young players and make them better. You can't say that if he does that. We don't even know who our New South Wales Cup coach is next year. Make him captain coach of New South Wales Cup.
Yes. Yes, now we're talking.
Yeah, bring that back. How good.
Yep. So I think that's it. No one's asked one funny question. I wanted one funny question. There's not one.
Longy must have pushed his recording back because he's been hard in the comments. There was one a little bit earlier. Let me find it. Here we go. This guy.
He loves
you could add one retired player to your team in their prime. Who would you add?
This 3 times?
He loves it. He loves going to it. Joel hasn't answered. Joel, you answered it.
What do you mean?
If you could bring one Parramatta back in his team.
Yeah, it had to be Jared. Like you just got to. I know that probably pushes Iongi out, unfortunately, but it has to be Jared. You bring him back every day of the week. Hambo's asked honestly 18 times. It's only fair to answer his question for once. He's asking about roles pressure. He's obviously up out of contract at the end of next year. If he doesn't actually go start any like good next year, there'll be a lot of noise. There'll be, whether it's fair or not. I think we all know there's some other things at play, unfortunately for Jace. But if there is some pressure on him next year early, I think the Joms will be out. The media will be circling, and the thing is that someone like Madge might be available. And I know the club didn't want him a few years ago when they probably should have, because he would have told them where to go and how to do things. But it might be a big call to make.
I think there's some method to it. There's he's obviously got that 4th year option or whatever it is after next year for the club. But I think a lot of it's going to come down to what we can land from November 1st for 28. If we can't land players, then obviously there's going to be other heads full. And then if Riles isn't a big enough coach to land players when we get some new people in to do that, then we have big problems. Looking at who would be the next coach is the hardest thing. Like I can't see any young emerging I don't think we need a young emerging coach. I think we need a hard one. Like the only thing I'd be doing is going to Ivan Cleary and saying, name your price, come across, do what you can. Bring your son, bring them both if you want to.
Bring them both. Let's have a Cleary halves combo.
Very hard, do whatever you need to do, but it's probably the only option because I can't see, like, obviously our New South Wales Cup coach has gone across to, like when you look at a club, there's always that assistant coach in the waiting. Like Billy Slater's obviously a shout. I think Billy Slater could end up at the Broncos because I think Madge is going to get sacked for sure. But, like every club's kind of got that assistant coach. I think, they could take over. I don't think any of our assistant coaches could take over our club. So I'm really interested who they point as New South Wales Cup coach next year, because if the club has any brains and Jason Riles doesn't find it a threat, they're appointing a New South Wales Cup coach who has ambitions to coach an NRL first grade team. That's how I'd be looking at it. If we want to go another rookie coach or an experienced coach, someone like Jason Taylor, get him across, make him the New South Wales Cup, an assistant coach of first grade, knowing that he can very well step into that first grade coaching role because he wants that opportunity. So,
Bucket, Jared Hayne, head coach 2028. Acknowledge him. Done.
There's heaps of questions about Jared and the whole what happened in the shed. I'll answer that quickly. Jared was seen by a staff member that he knows, and that staff member took him into the sheds. That's about it. So not much I'll read into it as much as you want. So no, there's not else going. So all right. That's it. Matt King too late, probably that. Well, before we go, Hayden, can you give us your full-time score, your bowl prediction, your first try score for this week?
For which game?
Look, just woke him up too. I think he was having a nap.
I wasn't having a nap. What game?
The Parramatta men's game.
Parramatta game.
Hayden, can you just acknowledge me as well, please? Thank you.
Play
Play
the Titans this week at the Gold Coast.
No, we don't. The Titans play Manly.
Oh, he's good. I thought I could get
Tigers
him.
for the upset. There you go. Tigers for the upset.
Tigers, who are they playing?
Bulldogs.
How's that an upset? They both suck.
Luai versus Galvin.
Tigers 280. I'm taking the Tigers. There you go.
Isn't the Bulldogs one of your teams?
No.
Oh, Troy with the low blow late.
This was meant to be another. Someone said that to him the other day at the game and he cracked the shits. Oh, Jay. I mate Jay and he walked away. He walked away with the shits. So, all right. He said your team plays tomorrow, talking about the Knights. So that's it. We will beat the bye. Good night. That was meant to be a short podcast, and we will see you next Tuesday.